Go to the next one.
We're in the book of Revelation, chapter 16, verse 10, and it reads, "And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast, and his kingdom was full of darkness, and they gnawed on their tongues for pain, and blasphemed the Most High of heaven because of their pains in their souls, and repented not of their deeds."
All right, go to Revelation 9 and 2. So the fifth angel poured out his vial, and the kingdom was full of darkness. Okay? Revelation 9 and 2.
We're in the book of Revelation, chapter 9, verse 2, and it reads, "And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace. And as the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit."
So the darkness is going to bring these demon spirits. These demon spirits, which is going to come up out of the bottomless pit, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And I'm going to do a lesson on that next week, where I'm going to talk about how America is already starting to open up the bottomless pit. They have a machine that they're using that's already starting to open up the bottomless pit to release demons. Okay, and I'll break that down next week in next week's lesson. I'll probably do it on Wednesday. I'll do it on Wednesday to where we'll break it down and show you how America is already using certain machines to open up the bottomless pit to release these different sets of demons. All right, let's go to Exodus 10 and 21. Go ahead.
We're in the book of Exodus, chapter 10, verse 21, and it reads, "And the Most High said unto Moses, Stretch out thine hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt. And Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. They saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days. But all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings."
So it says, they saw not one another. So it was so dark you couldn't even see the person next to you. And it was so dark, neither rose any from his place for 3 days. So nobody moved. For 3 days, nobody moved. It was so dark, nobody even moved out of their spot. All right? Read it again.
I was just saying, you can feel the darkness.
Right. Oh yeah, in verse 21 it says you can feel the darkness. It was so dark, it was like it was a pun. Okay? But the same plague that was in the days of Moses, we're going to see that again. We're going to see that again, where it's going to get so dark to where we're not even going to be able to see the person next to us. Go ahead.
Sorry to add, I'm sorry that I'll keep adding, but they already said another solar flare is coming. They said that the first one was in England. They said there's another one coming.
There's another one coming?
In 2016 or 15. It was on the History Channel.
But I know we got one more blood moon that's supposed to be happening in October. Yeah. So, you know, but that's the signs though. The Most High says these are the signs of the end days. Revelation 16 and 12, we got about 10, 12 minutes left. Go ahead.
We're in the book of Revelation, chapter 16, verse 12, and it reads, "And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet."
So he says he's going to pour out a vial upon the great rivers to where he's going to dry up the way. We already talked about that earlier, where the Egyptian sea, which is over there by the great rivers of Euphrates, is going to be dried up to where we can be prepared to walk back over in that area. Okay, so let's talk about the seas being dried up. Let's go to Jeremiah 51 and 36. So the day is coming, you guys, regardless of what you think or not. All right, in his wrath, he's going to dry that sea up so we can come home. That's part of his wrath. So that's why I said earlier, you can't get upset that this stuff is happening. All this stuff has to come to pass, and the Most High has to let this stuff come to pass so he can bring in his wrath. And a part of his wrath is going to bring us home. Isn't that what happened with Moses and the children of Israel? He had to show his wrath first. And once he showed his wrath, then the children of Israel, along with Moses and Aaron, were freed out of Egypt. But he had to show the wrath first. Jeremiah 51 and 36.
We're in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 36, and it reads, Therefore, thus saith the Most High, Behold, I will plead thy cause, and take vengeance for thee, and I will dry her up her sea, and make her springs dry.
Alright, so he says he's going to dry up the seas. We already read Isaiah 11 and 15 where he says he's going to destroy the tongue of the Egyptian sea. Alright. Let's break down, let's read Revelation 16 and 13 again about the spirits.
We're in the book of Revelations, chapter 16, verse 13, and it reads, And I saw 3 unclean spirits, like frogs, come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet.
All right, let's go to 1 Timothy 4 and 1. So let's break down these 3 spirits, what it's speaking of. 1 Timothy 4 and 1. Go ahead.
We're in the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 1, and it reads, Now the Spirit speaketh expressly, that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils.
So it says in the latter times, which is the times we're living in right now, people will depart from the faith. People are not going to have faith. They're going to find a way to depart from it, and they're going to give heed to the seducing spirits and the doctrines of devils. And the seducing spirits is these prophets. Remember we did a lesson a few months ago talking about the preachers leading people astray and how they'll be seducing people with their words and with their sermons and stuff to keep people deceiving them. Deceiving them was like seducing. Remember when we broke it down? So they're going to be deceiving these people with their words, which is like seducing them. Okay? But those are the 3 unclean spirits that it was speaking of. Alright, let's go to 2 Peter 2 and 1.
I would say seducing, like
Luring. Luring, that's what it was. That's what we broke down. When we broke down in the Strongs, it was seducing. It was like luring people into the wrong direction. Luring them right to the pit. And that's what we have going on today. Okay, go ahead. Yep.
We're in the book of 2 Peter, chapter 2, verse 1, and it reads, But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privily shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Most High that bought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction.
So these false teachers, these preachers, they will deny that the Most High bought them. And isn't that what the word ransom means? He sent his son down here to buy us back. Alright? He sent his son down here to buy us back. Alright? He gave the ransom. He paid the ransom. My people in captivity, I'll pay the ransom for them. But the people are still denying who Ahayah is. So this is through their false teachings. They are taking people through the swift destruction. See, the swift destruction is going to hit them and also the people that are following their ways. Verse 2.
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 2, and it reads, And many shall follow their pernicious way.
And many people shall follow these ways. Go ahead.
By reason of whom the way of the truth shall be evil spoken of.
So the truth will be evil spoken of. They will lie against the truth. They will say bad things against the truth. So that's why when you and I go speaking this truth, people say bad things about us. They say things as, oh, that ain't right, that ain't true, that was back in the day, we no longer have to do that. They say evil things against the truth. Oh, you're in a cult. Oh, something's wrong with you. You've been brainwashed. You're following the truth, and now you've been brainwashed. So they'll find a way to speak evil against the truth. All right, let's close this out. Let's go to Revelation 16 and 14. Go ahead.
We're in the book of Revelation, chapter 16, verse 14, and it reads, "For they are the spirits of devils, working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of the great day of the Most High Almighty."
So that's all they doing. These spirits of the devils, they just getting themselves together. They trying to get ready for that great battle. We all know the great battle, right? Ephesians what? We read it all the time. Ephesians 6 and 12 is that great battle. That great battle, and they're getting ready. Deceiving the whole world with these evil spirits and working miracles. See, Satan works miracles also. This is one of my favorite scriptures because people try to say, well, Jay-Z and them must be doing something good if he made it big. No, that's the devil works miracles too. He gonna give you some money. He gonna give you everything that he offered Yeshaya. Everything that Yeshaya turned down, he's offering it to these people and they're taking it. He's still working those miracles. Those are the spirits of the devil, which is deceiving the whole world. And through these spirits, these people are just battling and getting their gear ready to think they can fight Yeshaya. Verse 15.
Revelation chapter 16, verse 15, and it reads, "Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked, and they see his shame."
Keep your garment. Alright? The armor of Ahayah. Keep your garment on and be ready. Don't get caught naked. Okay? But see, what a lot of people don't understand, living in this world today, living in America, America is getting ready for the battle. And guess what they're using? It's like a game of chess. They're using you, and you're the pawn. So you have a game of chess, and they have all the kings and the queens and all what are the chess pieces? I don't know the name of the chess pieces, but they got the king, the queen. CJ knows. Not the pawns, but they got all of the other pawns. The bishop. Okay, so that's the government, and then the people are the pawns. They use you. They're using you as the pawns. They're putting you up first. All right, you out first. You're going to make the first move in this battle. They're going to use you. So in the game of chess, you use the pawn. You don't care if the pawn get killed, right? You just trying to protect the bishop and everything else.
You say take the pawn out.
So that's what they're doing. So in this battle that they're getting ready for against Ahayah, they're deceiving people to be on their side. You're using the same spirit as them, so you're following them, and now you're the pawn. So when the battle of Ahayah, when that day comes, Ahayah's going to look and take you out with the wrath. To get to them, Ahayah's going to have to get to you to get to them. You're the pawn, so you have to be careful. Got to be real careful. Or if you're going to be a pawn of Ahayah, put your armor on and get on the other side. Get off that black side. It's a game of chess. You got the black pieces and you got the white pieces. Are you going to stay on the side with the black pieces, the darkness, or are you going to come over into the light side? That's clear as day. Verse 16.
We're in the book of Revelation, chapter 16, verse 16, and it reads, "And he gathered them together into a place called, in the Hebrew tongue, Armageddon. And the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne, saying, It is done."
So the seventh angel pours out his vial and he says, hey, it is done. Okay? But remember, what was the sixth vial? Alright? Dried up the great rivers of Euphrates. And like I said, you guys, when you go back and you look at all these that we read tonight, majority of these have already happened. Majority of these are already in place. So that lets you know this seventh vial is on its way, where he said it is done. And once he said it is done, then this time we should already be in position to go home.
Only 2 is 6 and 7.
We should be. Say it again.
So the only 2 is 6 and 7.
We should already be in place to go home. 6 and 7, he dries them up. The great Euphrates, he dries up the land. And then 7, he says it is done. So why are we going to wait? So we need to already be in place to where once this is done, you guys, we don't have to do much running. All right, we don't have to do much getting ready. You want to read it again? Right?
Yeah. Revelation chapter 16, verse 12, and it reads, "And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east may be prepared.
So the kings of the east. Who are the kings of the east? That's you and I. We are the kings of the east. We're not the kings of the west. All right, we the kings of the east that was brought to the west. So we are the kings of the east. So like I said, he's preparing it for us. He's getting it ready for us so we can come home. So there's no reason that you should be sitting here when he's doing all this preparation for you and I. But like I said, these great 7 plagues is already happening, which is the wrath of Ahayah. All right, let's close it out. Verse 8, read 17 again.
We're in the book of Revelation, chapter 16, verse 17, and it reads, "And the 7th angel poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne, saying, It is done. And there were voices, and thunders, and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth. So mighty an earthquake and so great."
So what are we seeing? All right, didn't they just come out with the movie San Andreas? So with their technology, they're going to bring that great earthquake that movie is showing. We're right here, you guys. Don't like I said about 3 times. Don't be naive to this. Don't be ignorant. Let the spirit of Ahayah work through you and show you the signs that needs to be shown. This great earthquake is this San Andreas that they're showing in this movie that they're going to crack the default line to make this happen. And you have to understand with the oil spill. Read it again. Grab that article you just had. Grab that article that the sister had and read it again and get. See, people don't pay attention when they read. See, when you read that, I already had picked out what they're doing. Read it. Read that article one more time. Read that first paragraph. Yep.
It says, "Friday afternoon, Highland City officials were notified that an oil pipeline owned by Plains All-American Pipeline had discharged around 100 barrels of crude oil. 100 barrels of oil equates to approximately 4,200 gallons.
Read it.
The company says the flow of oil from the pipeline has been stopped. It's believed the source of the spill was a small diameter pipeline fitting at a pumping station. The pipeline runs from Plains Patoka Station to Wood River, Illinois. Says the company initiated its emergency response plan and personnel to help local first responders to contain the oil spill. The spill is being contained near Pocahontas Pump Station, located in Bauman Road, near the county line between Madison and Bond counties. Some of the oil has leaked into Silver Creek, which feeds into Silver Lake. The lake serves as a main water source of the city, Highland, Illinois. The Highland Fire Department has deployed containment booms on Silver Lake near Interstate 70 bridge to protect the city's water source.
Maybe it was the other one that yeah, the California, because what they're trying to do is with the oil spill, they're trying to hit the fault line. Just period. Yeah, and the one in California, that makes sense, but they're trying to get that oil to seep all the way down to hit the fault line, and the fault line creates madness down there to where it gives you earthquakes. And that's what they're trying to do.
They said, sorry, we know we don't follow this side, but I remember seeing they said they want that, when it comes to that the earth is going to be split or something like that. That's what they're trying to say on a fault line.
Okay.
They said that the earth will be.
Go ahead and read Revelations 11 and 13.
We're in the book of Revelations, chapter 11, verse 13, and it reads, "In the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were affrighted. and gave glory to the Most High of heaven.
So it says this great earthquake is going to kill off at least 7,000. Right off the rip. And that's going to be here in America. When's the last time America's had an earthquake that killed off 7,000 people? Never. Never. That's going to happen right here, you guys. Revelation 16 and 19. Let's get to these last few precepts.
We're in the book of Revelation, chapter 16, verse 19, and it reads, "And the great city was divided into 3 parts."
3 parts. So there goes the division right there. Didn't somebody just say that? All right, there goes the division right there. America is going to be divided into 3 parts after this great earthquake. Go ahead.
"And the cities of the nations fell. And great Babylon came in remembrance before the Most High, to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath."
All right. So the cup of the wine, the fierceness of his wrath. What does it mean when it says the cup of the wine? Let's go to Revelations 18 and 6. Let's break down what it means to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. Who is her? Who is her? We'll break down real quick who her is, since people don't understand who her is. Who is her? Let's go to Revelations 18 and let's read, start at verse 4. We already know verse 3. We already know this by heart. Read verse 4.
We're in the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 4, and it reads, "And I heard another voice from heaven, saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sin,
This is why he wants us to leave, so we don't have to partake in this crap. Go ahead.
and that ye receive not of her plague.
Her plagues is these plagues that we just broke down tonight. The same plagues that he had to give Pharaoh, he's going to give them to America. Go ahead.
For her sins have," we're in verse 5, "For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled to her double."
So that's the cup that it's talking about in Revelations 18 and 6 when it says, "And double unto her, double according to her works, and the cup which she had filled to her double." Okay? So that's the cup. It's the cup it's talking about. According to her works. The works that she did, her iniquities is in this cup. And it's filled over. It's overflow. Verse 7.
Verse 7, "How much she had glorified herself, and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow."
So I sit a queen. That's the Statue of Liberty, you guys. I sit a queen, and I am no widow, and I shall see no sorrow. So I am no widow. I've never lost a war. That's what it means. I am no widow. I shall see sorrow. A widow is someone that loses men. That's lost a husband. America says, I sit as a queen. I've never lost no men. We never lost a war. Verse 8.
Verse 8, "Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, and mourning, and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Most High Ahayah, who judgeth her."
All right. So how do we know that it's speaking of the Statue of Liberty? Because a lot of people say, well, that's not talking about the Statue of Liberty, even though it says, I sit as a queen. Let's go to Revelations 18 and 23.
We're in the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 23, and it reads, "And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in it."
Who holds a candle? Who holds a candle when it's a light? It's a lighthouse. The Statue of Liberty is a lighthouse that holds a candle. That's what's in the Statue of Liberty's hand. Read it again.
We're in Revelations 18, chapter 18, verse 23, and it reads, "And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in it."
And the light of that candle that you hold will no longer shine in you, queen. Once I hit you with these plagues and this wrath, it's not going to shine no more. I'm going to take you down. So let's not be ignorant and naive. You try to tell people Revelations 18 is speaking of America. They say, no, speaking of Rome. No, it's not. America has to go. America has to go just like any other major kingdom that was around and that arose, they all went down. America is arose to the top, it has to go down. And then Roman Empire will come back. Once America gets taken out, then the Roman Empire will arise again. But the Most High has to come and take America out with all these plagues that we were just talking about, the 7 great plagues. And if you don't want to be a part of these plagues, as we just read in Revelations 18:4, it's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to get out of here. Don't receive of her plagues. He's warning us. Come out of her, my people. Be not partakers of her sins. Okay? So hopefully we all got a better understanding of the spirit of Ahayah when it comes to fleeing. Hopefully we all got a better understanding of the spirit of Ahayah when he comes to take this place out. Alright, which is these 7 great plagues. It ain't going to be nothing new, you guys. It's going to be the same things that we read in the story of Moses. As you see, every plague was basically smack dab dead on what he did in the land of Egypt. Alright? So now that should almost kind of give your spirit an enlightenment on how this is going to work. We're going to be in the same bag of marbles as the children of Israel was in that day. We're no better than them. What makes you think that he brings the children of Israel from out of Egypt and give them a tough time? It was a struggle they had to endure. What makes you think this second time when he brings us out of here, we're going to be better? If anything, it's going to be worse for us. You want to know why it's going to be worse for us? Because at least them, when they came out of captivity, they was coming right out of slavery. So when they got to the wilderness, it was kind of like, okay, whatever. But us, you're going to be coming from luxury homes, turning on the light switch, turning on air whenever you want to. They never had air. Driving cars, clothing. We're going to get out there. Wearing our shoes, we're going to get down to 1 pair of shoes. They're going to get holy. It's going to get rough. And now your spirit is going to have to adjust because you're so used to a lifestyle to where some people ain't going to make it. So that's the difference. It's rougher on us than it was on them. Think about it. And we're going to live the same experience. Alright? So with that in mind, we'll close it out. We'll say Shabbat Shalom. All praises to the Most High Ahayah. We'll pray it out and we'll open it up for any questions.